Hi, Dav here, and today we have a new episode in the Art Review series, and today we'll be checking out the work of Ted Zhang. Now, I think I've done an art review of Ted before, I'm not sure, but it has been like years maybe, so yeah, so they're based in Shanghai, China, and they're into digital painting. Now, they do have like older stuff where they do paint, but I think for like the bulk of their work is, for example, this is more of a painting. For the bulk of their work, it's more like this, where it's where you do see a line work in there, and it's in black. So they do have to sort of draw things, flesh things out from that phase, and then they'll do like a coloring phase. It's a very typical sort of process. But what intrigues me is the design. It's so freaking cool. And well, if you look at how they render, they're using basic brushes here, and it does look very sort of soft. I don't see a lot of textures when they do render. Um, when they do render, sorry. And it's a pretty straightforward approach, but I think what separates him obviously is their design. It's so interesting, right? I mean, you can tell by this, it's sort of a combination of like it looks like a knight, right? But the armor is so modern, but it still has that sharp look to it. Because I know when you think of, because a lot of modern designs now they're very sort of, touch screen, and they're less for me. Like everything seems just flat and like contourless, so it's sort of boring at this point. So seeing stuff like this where it's a little more intricate, but at the same time it's not like super medieval. Like this thing is a modern uh it's modern equipment, but it's just um it has that like it recalls the past a bit. Hopefully I'm saying it right. But yeah, let me just zoom in on some of their. I really am fascinated with. Now this one's more of like a space girl. There's like a cute droid here. Um, I just like the imaginativeness of it. Now this one does look a little more realistic because you do see this sort of arm in actual like space stations in space that we have. And because in design, I've read this in a book, in the design principles book, where I forgot the actual concept, but you just want to go a little beyond what people know. If you create a design that's too far off, let me just use my pen here. For example, if this is the designs we know, you want to go just like 10%, add like 10%, maybe 20. We'll just say 10% to it. And that's sort of it's gonna lead to a design that stands out a bit. If it goes too far from what we know, like leagues like 200% away, it's gonna look too like you need something like a bulk of it. The majority has to be understood in the real world. There has to be like a real world basis to it. So like we know how it kind of works, but you can always add like a 10% something to it to make it more interesting. And I think it's a cool concept because you don't have to completely create stuff that's always like original, meaning it's so far off. So this is sort of a lifesaver, I guess. It just has to be 90% based on something, and then you can go crazy with the 10%. Let me just turn this guy off. There you go. This one's kind of cool too. This one doesn't have, like, you don't see the actual person, so maybe they're inside. Korean Pine. Oh, I do like the line work. I think they're using a basic round brush, and it has a little bit of opacity because it's not purely black on this one. It sort of blends with the color, maybe, or with the base colors. But look at how they render. It's just flats, and then on top of the flats, for example, this whole thing is brown. This whole thing is like gray. On top of that, they will add like the shadow. They'll have maybe a shadow layer, and then they'll have like a reflective layer maybe, and then some textures. For example, right here to show a bit of where like it's being used in the real world, right? So maybe then once you add these sorts of uh uh textures, they're more like detailed, but you do them after. But for the bulk of it, it's just a basic sort of round brush. And I've been seeing a lot of this recently. Seeing people just use basic brushes, um, and you can get away with it because the main thing here is really just the design. So, oh, I think this is the head. It's kind of small, but yeah, you do need to reference a lot of this stuff, right? Um, and it just silhouette. It looks cool, but it's not just that. You know, you have to actually like when you do zoom in, you want information there, and that's the thing that I think for the sketchier types of artists like me, I tend to get lazy with the details. So, but when you see stuff like this, if you look at their line work, it's there's a bit of a scribbliness to it, a bit of a. I mean, there's detail there, but they're not so tight with the line work, and I think that's a good thing because it makes me kind of want to do it. For example, even the way the shadow part was done, look at how it overshoots the line, right? Like you don't have to be super exact. It just has to be enough. If it's mostly understood, then there you go. It doesn't have to be. You don't have to have perfect line work for this kind of thing. Let me just see more of the night stuff here. This is kind of cool. So this one has to be my favorite because I've seen this years ago and it's still because I found their work again on Pinterest and I had to like click on it. But till this day, I still like the look of it. Ooh, this would be so cool in a freaking game. Even though I don't game, just because I never had like the proper like laptop or computer for it. I did have a PSP once, and even before that a Game Boy Advance. You know, the one with the dark screen. But brick game, anyone? There you go. You know, I sometimes feel so jealous when people play games. You know, when they do like playthroughs or gameplays, and sometimes they'll tag like the software or hardware they're using, like 490X. I'm not sure what that is. Is that like a processing unit or something? I don't even know, but it's like so cool to look at. Yeah, I like the design. Again, I do recommend guys, you have to zoom in. Um, if you look at their brush for the line work, I think it's a basic round brush. And it's not like a solid black line. It is reactive, I guess, to pen pressure. So the lighter the pen pressure, the more opacity it has. So that's why you will see in some parts it's a bit more gray than like pure black. And I think that's good because if everything is black, like sometimes it's like there's no hierarchy. So it's like super overwhelming. But if you have like spots where it kind of breaks off, where it becomes a little more transparent or gray, all in all, it's gonna make it more easy on the eyes, right? And if you look at the way they do the line work, it's also kind of organic. It looks very sort of straightforward here and intimidating, maybe. But if you zoom in, I think it's more of a patience thing, um, in just getting it mostly right. But that's it. You don't have to overthink it too much. Another artist that reminds me of this concept is Dorajam. Hopefully I'm saying the name. I'll just write the name Dorajam. Dorajam. And I think on YouTube, I forgot. Like they have like two characters for their. I think they're Korean characters, but I think on ArtStation this is their name. If you watch how they paint or draw, because they do live streams on YouTube in real time, you will be surprised how long some of their drawings or illustrations take. Another guy is EO58 or 58MW on YouTube, I think. Uh, and I'm glad they're one of my popular videos because people kind of know them, but there's not much about them. For example, I do know EO58 or 58MW. He doesn't even post his like actual artwork anywhere. It's just a bunch of videos. So it's kind of, I'm not even sure what he does like in real life, but you just have to watch his stuff. And like there's no like ArtStation link, no Kara, whatever, or Instagram. It's just anyway, I like this one too. So let's see more. Right. And even the faces, I do like there obviously it's very anime-esque, which is kind of my thing too, right? But I think it's the design. Like how much information they can pack in. While still looking good. Like how do you not overdo it? Because it can happen where you just keep adding stuff to the point where it doesn't even make sense. Um because but it's not like you're like everything has to totally make sense because you are being a bit you do have creative liberty to make things up, but how do you stop from going too far? Because a lot of their work here, even though it's like fantastic to look at, there is a sense of realism there. Like it's pretty legit, right? It reminds me a little bit of what's the anime where Zero to the chick with the devil horns. She's kind of like a demon or something. Just the design of this costume kind of reminds me of that. I guess their mecha designs. I'm really into the mecha designs of like, I mean, yeah, Evangelion, but if you watch anime, just watch their mecha stuff. Like, there's a certain sense of, like even the game, there's a game called Armored Core. I just like the way the mechs look. It's so, I don't know, I don't even know what the word is. Like, it's so filled up with details, but it's not like it doesn't look fake. It doesn't look like totally made up. Like it feels real. Like you'd want to be able to pilot something like that in the future. I do know the larger the mech, the more likely it is not to be able to function like in a humanoid kind of way. But I'm really hoping for a future where we can pilot mechs, even just like a mini scale, like maybe 1-2 story side. That's enough for me. It doesn't have to be like Evangelion level or Jaeger types, but yeah, I do like the rendering. Even though it's simple, it's the drawing really is the foundation here, right? Um, but I think they should get credit for the rendering too, because like, how do you draw or shade these parts over here to make it look 3D? If it's just line work, it's not going to be as appealing. Even this sword looks great, like the handle. It's fairly protected as well. So they're combining this sort of what do you call this? It's like an European. I don't know what the term for this is, but it's a classic. Is that a word? I don't know. It's not ancient, but it's. I don't even think it's medieval. It's a little beyond medieval to current day, where you had like muskets and stuff. Basically, where the loading time of your gun had to. It just took so long. It was basically like a mini cannon of sorts. Uh, but yeah, I like it. Very cool. And I think this is what art is about, especially the design aspect. It has to be inspiring. Like you'd want to invest if your designs are cool. Um, like it just makes people want to participate more, right? So this is what good design or why good design matters, because it just pushes everything forward. I'm not sure what this is. It's kind of a mech. So she is piloting it, but maybe not sure. but it looks cool. I really like the details. They look legit as hell. Oh yeah, so that's it for this art review. I'm just really into mechs. Well, this one's kind of cool, right? They're cute too, obviously. There's just something about chicks in armor that just I think there's another artist named Johnson Ting. He does a lot of like photo bashing stuff, and he has like a series where there were girls, they were wearing armor but also roller blades for some reason, and it looked really cool. Um, and yeah, it would be so cool to see that in some kind of movie or game. And yeah. Oh, this is a different artist. So that's it for this art review of Ted Zhang. Do they have other links? Not really. So I will just link this ArtStation page in the description below. And if you're into mechs, I do recommend you, or mecha kind of themed stuff, I do recommend you check out the work of Ted Zhang. That's it. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.